Gangs and santeria part two. Alright, so let's get deeper into the rabbit hole of this. We as humans, no, let me say as Afro Latinos, Black, Indian, all cultures that were enslaved or races at any point in time was never taught to go against each other. Even during slavery, we was together and huddled up. Now, whether the warriors were enslaved, that's a huge question. Meaning the children of the warriors, Omo Go, Omo Shango, whatever you are. It's hard to imagine any of those being enslaved. It's very hard. I would see them more protecting the village more than anything and, dying for them. That's why not many are not initiated on the warriors. It was hard to picture Zeli Danto's children as a slave. They will go to war. And I'm pretty sure you see many of them during the protests. I promise you. I'm pretty sure you see many of them. The elites of this country knew of all santeria way before we are allowed to access it now. They're the ones who took it away. And then they sell it back to us in the forms of movies, comic books, to make it seem like if they were real or fake. And, it turns into a term called science fiction, which we were taught in school. Where do you think these gang beats, where do you think these gangs got the beats from? Hey, Botaniga, hey, Santero. One of them figured out the power that it holds and somehow to protect the gang members. As in taught through from a santero. But this is a theory. The truth is, this was programmed and set up. The Italian gangster, that's where the term even came from. Which is who the gang members are imitating. And let's get deeper, right? The mob was the first gangsters. They killed each other. They had different families. The media pushed it. How did they push it? Through the news, through the paper, telling people how much money they're getting, being invincible, having money for lawyers, and so on. They even made movies of them. So the younger generation can learn how to do this. They were showing them in plain sight, which is programming. As sons and daughters of Orishas, of the warriors, even before not even knowing, the only way you're not going to know that you're not a child of a warrior is you're not getting initiated. And back then, I'm pretty sure it was a lot harder for them to get initiated because they had to keep it more secrecy. And then money was a factor too as well. But the children of them, before they even knew they were initiated, they're naturally drawn to the colors. Naturally, you're drawn to the power of it. Eleggua, red, yemaya, lokum, blue, ogun, green, so on. That's where the bees come from. Instead of having families of how the Italians had it before, they had gangs now. They're imitating the gangsters, right? And the Italian gangsters, they only allowed the people who are blood related being allowed in that certain mob by their last name. The children of Orisha, we know that everyone is family. You see it now today. We're all santeros, and how they have their tribes. Most of their tribe members are people strangers they never met before. It doesn't matter what family you come from, what's your last name. And that's the same thing with the gangs now. It doesn't really matter where you come from, your last name. Right now, before, I think the race was more of a thing, but now the race is not. I think it's pretty open with the race. Because we are naturally drawn to doing things like this, because That's not that's not our nature. But the programming made us be like this. The gang members was possibly trying to follow the original ways. Having the red. But before that, after the slavery, is TV programming, the mob influence killed us, and the music as well, which is another podcast I do on music. But the music heavily influenced it as well. They seen the power that the music holds, and they just destroyed it. Imagine, just think about this. Imagine a gang of eleguas instead of bloods, and they go and they open opportunities for the neighborhoods. May it be through music, may it be through art, may it be through technology, advance, whatever it is, opening opportunities for entrepreneurship. Just imagine a gang of eleguas set up bloods in the neighborhood. Imagine a gang of Oguns to go to war and protect the neighborhood. Imagine a gang of yemaya or Lagoon instead of cribs bringing water, food, motherly love to the neighborhoods. Just imagine that. Are we willing to go out and try to show these kids this? But the santeros now feel it's best to keep it a secret. Like if we're in the slave times. And that's what you call mental slavery.